Okay, good morning, boys and girls. It is Tuesday, January 27th. I'm on day 11 of tracking this trading. And so we're taking a look. I've just got some things marked out for today. I'm on the 1 hour time frame right now on S&P and Nasdaq, and it looks what appeared to stuck out right to me was this SMT divergence right here that's formed. Um, This is definitely a bearish SMT. Looks like S&P is the lead on this. So we're going to be tracking that one a little more closely. We do have some benchmarks here, liquidity areas from way, way back. I had to go back almost to November of last year to find areas of liquidity for uh, for the Nasdaq. Here we've got a couple of touch points that have already been met a little bit. We have another one up here, and then a couple more further up. So although everything looks like it's been pretty bullish in the last few sessions, I'm thinking this SMT guts has me thinking more bearish. We also have a big area of imbalance right here that we need to take care of. And there's also a large area of imbalance right here as well from New York session yesterday, as well as a huge fair market value gap right in here before getting into the other sessions. Also, too, as you're going to see, I'm going to move down to the 5 minute time frame on these. Um, you're going to see that London session was really quite flat, pretty much traded sideways. So London session traded sideways, and Asian session had quite a move, but not as dramatic as what New York did. Um, and you can see that Asian session, um, they did not have much of a manipulation. It was more a continuation of the upward trend. And then it came back down. We have London session that opened. The best they could do was just take out these low areas of liquidity right here. And this was actually New York uh, highs, I believe. Yeah, those were New York highs. We did see that Asian took out New York highs, came back down, or started here as it was coming down. Looks like we're starting. We had a 5 minute SMT as well that was forming. Um, Let me look over here. Here's that SMT on the 5, how that shows there. You can see that London also took out Asia highs over here on the Nasdaq, but did not do it on the S&P. Everything that Asia market did looks pretty standard, pretty normal on both tickers, but you can just tell that London session was pretty flat. In fact, London session on S&P um, didn't even get to low areas of liquidity on the close of the Asian session. Again, the only real manipulation happened right around these low areas of liquidity and around previous highs of the New York session. So really some flat trading there, and with this SMT divergence, um, my bias today is going to be bearish. We're keeping an eye on the S&P because it is the lead indicator on this 1 hour SMT divergence. Um, but as is these markets are, anything can happen. So I'll be looking for probably an early session, maybe pre-market, because we're still about 18 minutes in pre-market right now. Maybe a manipulation that begins to move toward these highs to take out London highs and Asian highs, and then curl back down and fill up this imbalance right in through here, and looking at touching on basically on the Asian lows, which we have 2 points for Asian lows. This is sort of the official Asian low open, and then this 1800 hour mark, which is the pre or the gap session. I've had conflicting reports on exactly which one it is, so I usually mark them out both. The one I use I use an indicator here that was created that marks these sessions out, gives them different colors, gives me the high and low of each daily session, or each session for each day, both the Asian session and then the London session. So I'm going to go ahead and finish marking these out, and then we will keep an eye on price action. Again, today's bias is going to be bearish with a focus on the S&P because of this 1 hour SMT divergence right here. So we're definitely going to be looking at some movement. There might be some better take profit points on the NASDAQ too if it presents an opportunity that runs similar to what we're seeing with the S&P. But right now S&P is going to be the lead because there's a lot more room to work, and with this SMT indicator being the lead. So, all right, I'm going to continue marking stuff out, and then we'll take a little pause and come back 5 minutes before market open. All right, talk to you in a little bit. All right, boys and girls, we now have 5 minutes to market open, and just observing the price action, which seems to be a little more active on the S&P than it is on the NASDAQ. So right now I was keeping my eye on this this little formation of a fair market value gap right here. Just kind of seeing what's going on there. It looks like it's being respected. If it is, chances are what we might be doing is already acting on this SMT divergence right here. As we see, it's already been trending downward. And if we respect this fair market value gap, there's a good chance at open that we are going to continue to move down first, where this move has already started. And then that would mean we're targeting these lows down here and these lows here initially as part of the manipulation, and we might be able to take a quick scalp on that. But I'm also, if that's the case, then the manipulation is actually headed this way, and then it'll curl back up, and then we're going to be targeting the highs back up here and some of these other spots as well. I'm going to get rid of the New York high here because this has clearly been taken care of, and then this hourly, we're going to take care of that. Samesies here, take care of this, pull that out of the way. So really, that's the possibility. My original thought was we're going to come up and take these and then to continue to head down to target this, mostly because we had this sort of sideways motion here in the last few hours. Same here with the NASDAQ. Now the NASDAQ did take out Asian highs, whereas S&P did not. So, difficult to say. It looks like as we begin to clean up this 5-minute time frame, I'm going to jump down to the 1 minute real quick and see if that 5-minute SMT has been respected. Whoops. And so far it's still being respected, but we only have 20 seconds left. And if it breaks past that, then this has clearly been inversed, which means we're probably going to start heading in an uptrend, and that would tell me that we are more than likely going to start targeting these highs up here as part of the market manipulation portion of our morning. So we've got 2 minutes to market open, and yep, clearly we inverse that gap on the 5 minutes. So I'm going to remove that now, and it looks like our bias is now going in the direction that I thought it was going to. So we're going to see what happens. Right now, all the momentum at market open seems to want to take us up to here. So I am going to pop back into the 5 minute now. And we don't have a break of structure just yet. If we get right to here with a break of structure, then I will, on the 5 minute, then we are definitely bearish as our market opens. But again, my bias is still going to be. I'm sorry, we're definitely bullish. My bias is still bearish. So we will see what turns out if my intuition is correct on what's going on here. Let's switch this back to the 5 minute. Yeah, we definitely have more areas to flush out up here, especially with the Asian highs not being taken out by London session, whereas they were over here. So right now I'm not seeing any SMT divergence yet forming on the 5 minute. But everything's still looking bearish. So we got about 15 seconds, 10 seconds to market open. Like I said, I'm going to target what's going on up here to start. So, oh, we have to do this. Switch my broker real quick so I can trade properly. There we go. All right, and we are now at market open. And okay, we're seeing a flush now on the NASDAQ, wanting to take out those London lows. So maybe we are headed down right now. Yes, we are. So I'm going to hit a quick scalp for sell. Because we're going to want to take out those London lows. Nope, 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 nope. That was a bad trade. That was a very bad trade. I should have taken it once it swept, because we are definitely headed north. Yep. All right, so I'm going to take this one instead. There we go. Yeah, we want those highs. We took a quick sweep there. We're heading to the highs over here. Keep going. There we go. Yeah, I've got to believe the manipulation is headed north. Yeah, because S&P just took out London lows, just like NASDAQ did. Now NASDAQ is headed up to get those highs. Yep. Very good there. Switch to the 1 minute here. Yep, we're looking good. I'm going to get out of it real quick. I want to say it's definitely there, but I got to wait for another indication on here. I mean, we have some low time frame liquidity here and here, but I really think we already came and swept London lows real quick. I don't know that there's much more to take there, but I guess we'll see. Let's go back to the 5 minute and see what we're playing with here. Okay, interesting flush there. Still playing with those London lows. We have these two fighting each other. It looks like a bearish SMT divergence on the 5 minute. I have to believe that we're. Let me switch to the 1 minute. I think there's action on the. I mean, we clearly have a break of structure on the NASDAQ, but right now we're moving in opposite directions. So NASDAQ really wants those New York lows. Okay, so here's what I'm going to do. I'm going to look for this fair market value gap right here. You know, it's either going to keep dumping or we're going to come back into here. Yeah, we're dumping. There's just not a move there yet. I think NASDAQ really wants those New York lows. So I'm going to go ahead and take a quick scalp here. Okay, I'm out. It came down and touched them. I took a little bit there. Yeah, I'm a little behind here. I still don't know if we're going to get those Asia lows. I mean, we're just dumping hard, so we got a full break of structure here. All right, so gotta wait for a pullback on the 1 minute. I mean, we have a little bit of a fair market value gap here. We've got nothing on the S&P at the moment. It's just holding. NASDAQ really seems to want to, yeah, we got another one here now. I got to wait for a pullback. It just really wants to go. It's just going. Just wants to go. I mean, there's just no end in sight now. Yeah, it's dumping. I gotta see a pullback though. There's just, I mean, it if it does a pullback and then comes back out, then it's going to want to take out Asia. S&P is just hanging out. I mean, we've got this wicked bearish on the 5 minute or on the 1 minute here. Is this a 1 minute as well? No, this is the 5 minute. I mean, it's almost like S&P is standing still, just waiting for Nasdaq to do its thing. So there we go. Now we're starting to get a little action into this fair market value gap. Just got to wait it out. It's not. I mean, I could try to take an early bias on it, but there's no. I don't have a confirmation yet. What we really need is for it to come back into this fair market value gap and fake out all the people that think that it already did its liquidity sweep here on New York. There we go. And now we want to see it come into here and then curl over. If it inverses this gap, we still have this one to go. We still have one up here to go. I'm going to switch to the 5 minute on this because let's take a quick look where the fair market value gap is here. Okay. So, all right. So we have, all right, little ways to go. Now we're coming back up. Now we're coming back up. Okay, looks like we're going to take out that one. That one's going to inverse. This one is still being respected. Let's see what happens here. See if there's a fake out. Yeah, I'm not seeing any. There's no basic levels of liquidity there. It's probably just a fake out. Okay, we're heading back up. If we inverse this, I'm going to go ahead and take this and expect it to inverse the other one. I'll just take this as a quick long scalp. Wow, it's moving quick. Okay, I'm going to take a long here, and I'm going to expect it to blow this out here. Okay, I'm going to get out real quick. Oh, it did blow that gap. Okay, $15 down from where I was yesterday. Made up the gap I had there, but yeah, once it closed out, now it might respect this and come back down. All right, so we can get rid of this one because that was inversed. We can get rid of this one. That was inversed. Huh, I didn't expect NASDAQ to be the busier move today. All right, so it looks like it's going to get respected. All right, respected that gap, so now we're going to head down again. We closed out. I'm going to take a sell on this. And I'm going to target those other lows. Okay. All right. So I'm out again. Okay. Um, just some quick scalps. $105 positive on the day. And I'm not really seeing anything else major at this point. We have this fair market value gap now. Let me mark that out. Huh, just really blows me away that NASDAQ was the busy one today. I really thought I'd be trading on the S&P. Okay, we're going to look for this to get inversed to have a continuation. If it inverses, then we're definitely headed south. You know, for that matter, are we on the 5 minute or the 1 minute here? We're on the 1 minute over here as well. I think we have a really small gap right here as well. And then we also have, let's take a look at what equilibrium looks like as well. So we have a fair market value gap that gets respected there, one that got respected there, and we have basically what looks like equilibrium coming out. So, okay, we respected that fair market value gap so far. We also respected equilibrium. So now we might be looking more bullish. So I'm going to look for a break of structure, which would basically be closing out above here on a high candle. And if we close above both of these, now we are looking bullish. And I think we've pretty much spent all our energy on the other. Yeah, here we go. They're going to want those Asia highs. I'm sure of it. It's just how long it's going to take and how much price movement there's going to be to get to it. Yeah, see, we've already got the SMT right here, 1 minute, and we've got this. So we've already got a break of structure. This is already starting to trend up. This will start trending up if we get the break of structure right here. Yeah, if we inverse this fair value gap, then we're bullish, and I'll get back in on a buy. We're looking pretty good. I could pretty much get in right now, but I just want one more confluence. And that fair market value gap needs to be disrespected. They're just fighting each other right now, but if it closes out, S&P looks like it's getting a little higher, and we just need to close out on the 1 minute above. We're looking really good there. If we close out, I'm going to take a long on here. And we didn't, but we are close. All right, I'm going to take a long on the S&P. It's probably a mistake. Boy, that got respected. I'm going to hang out a minute. I'm going to see what happens here. I just can't believe that it wouldn't. We've got 20 seconds. Yeah, it didn't close above, but it's definitely bullish. Boy, it's really respecting that gap right there. Plus, we have another one right here, now that I think about it. Let me mark that off real quick. We have another one right here. Oh, wait, no, we don't. Yes, we do. Yes, we do. We have one right here. That's also a tough one and hasn't been busted yet. Now that's on the 1 minute, so I guess we'll see, but S&P is looking stronger. I think I'll have to keep a closer eye on what's going on with these others. Man, that is some serious chop. Yeah, so these are really strong. They're getting respected well. This one here is following suit, but it's just really, really, it's losing some steam. I think the market makers really want these highs right here. They want to take this and then make a move from there. You just get the sense that's where the market wants to go. Not a whole lot of price action down here for it to work with. So, okay, we're starting to see some build here. So this is good. Get a few more seconds. And if we break this one, I'm going to wait for it to break both of these before I take a long on NASDAQ. Right now, S&P is, moving in the right direction. And with NASDAQ giving it a push, I might go ahead and take a buy on NASDAQ if I can get a close. But boy, it really wants to respect those gaps. Okay, so here we go. We just about disrespected one. We're about to get past. It's just having a tough time getting past those gaps. So there we go. All right, now we're making our move. Now we're making our move. All right, so target's going to be up here. I'm going to target London. I'm going to target London. And right here, as soon as this closes out, I'm going to take a long here. Close above now. Close above. There we go. Good. Okay, I'm going to take a long here. And I'm going to put my right here, and we're targeting London. So London's our target. And if S&P hits my limit, I'm going to go ahead and back out of NASDAQ and then call it good, because today is still a qualifying day and I don't need that much more. I'm already above the qualifying limit to qualify the account. So what I want to be able to do is take some profit. So actually, to tell you the truth, I've already made it. I've got nothing to prove. So I'm going to go ahead and close these out. All right, close the positions. I don't need to hit my target. It was more strategic day than anything else. You can see here, I'm at 53,520. Closed out for the day. I am now fully qualified. Today is technically day 5 of trading. So, so we're good there. I'm going to leave this be for right now and then trade on paper for the rest of the day just to get some practice in. So let's move to paper. And we will play with paper right now. Okay, so I'm going to let this come back down on the NASDAQ because I still think it's bullish. I'm going to go ahead and put in a buy. Okay, take profits here. Stop losses here. All right, that's a pretty good risk to reward. I'm going to let that pop down a little bit. I'm going to go ahead and just take a buy here anyway, just to get, 15, 20 bucks out of it. There we go. Okay, I'm going to get out of that one. Oh, that's going to Asian high. Shit, I should have targeted Asian. I should have known. See, I was right. It's targeting Asian highs, and I think it's going to take out the highs, and then we're gonna look at a curl. So, yep, good. We touched Asian highs, which means I left money on the table. I should have trusted my bias on this one. Here we're still looking good. Taking out London highs, so I've got my stop set up there. Yeah, let's just let it ride, and we'll take that out. In the meantime, I'm going to pop over here and see what we're looking at for this. Hang on while I get my shizite all taken together here. Okay, so as you can see, this is the prop account. Today is actually day 5 of trading on this account, even though it says day 4. Of course, we haven't closed out the day yet, so that's why it's not showing. But that's why I'm leaving this alone right now, because I've already qualified the account, and this is my 5th day. So as of tomorrow morning, this account will now be validated, or be what do you call it? Move to a profit account, a pro account. So once that happens, this will then be a green arrow, and then I can start trading for actual cash profits that I can take. This particular, now I don't necessarily endorse this particular broker. Um, I'm not, I don't have an affiliate link with them or anything, but this one I picked because once you do qualify the account, you can start taking profits right on day 1. So let's say tomorrow after this qualifies, I take some trades and I pull profit, $500, $1,000, whatever. I can actually put in for a profit draw based on that. And there's no, I'm not sure what the minimum is. I want to say maybe there is a $2,000 minimum that I need to get to before taking that. So that might be another qualification in order to take profit on it, because it's not a Pro Plus account. Or maybe it's the Pro Plus account. I'll look at the rules and get some clarifications for you. For those of you that already know how this particular prop firm works, then you'll know that it all in all a pretty good deal of the prop firms that I've used so far. So once I get a little profit taken from this and start proving that I can actually get some real money from these, I will then begin to get a couple of more prop accounts set up. They allow you to have as many as 5 that you can work in tandem. So not bad for a couple $100 per account. Anyway, that's it for this. I'm going to pull this back over here. Actually, I'll tell you what, I'm just going to put this right back up into here. There we go. Whoop. There we go. We'll go back to here. And as you can see, I've hit my profit target here. We've hit Asian highs, so now I would expect that this is going to curl over. So now we are going to look for a inverse fair value gap. I'm going to go back to the 5-minute because I think there's a 5-minute gap here. Oh yeah, look at this, boys and girls. Jeez. Now this could continue up. I mean, we might have taken this flush here and we could just continue up and try to target these highs and try to target these highs. I don't know. Just the way I see it developing, this to me looks like, the Eiffel Tower setup, kind of like what I expected we would have here. We did rocket ship up, and you can see that we're kind of stalling in here. So I'm thinking, we're looking at coming back down on this. So let me take a look at what the 5-minute looks like here. Yeah, see, we got huge fair market value gaps here. So I'm going to let that hang for a second. I'm going to get rid of these so I can draw some fresh ones. Now that all of these have been, all of these have been inversed. There we go. Okay. Let's remove that. And remove this one. Okay, small wins today. Oh, it looks like this is still wanting to go. This is coming back a little. Yeah, see, S&P wants to pull back, man. It's just, it's going to take it down. It's going to take it down. All right, so let's get, we got a minute 8 left on this, and then we got this huge fair market value gap to break. I might, just for shits and giggles, go on my hunch rather than anything real. Yeah, see, we're already starting to come down. So I'm going to say, what do we have here? We do have a fair market value gap right here. Oops. Come on. There we go. And we've got another one right here. Okay, so we got 2 fair market value gaps right there. If we, okay, this is good. I want to create this low right here. I want to make sure this closes out at a good low. We've got 8 seconds left. Oh, finish high. Okay, cool. All right, so this is a low. Okay, so now if we finish with another low and break structure here, this is definitely coming down, or at least that's the confirmation that I would play with. And it looks like we're starting to get the same kind of action on the NASDAQ following suit, just a little slower, a little longer getting to where it's at. So let's just look at some confirmations here. Let's go back, break this down to the 1 minute real quick and see. Okay, we got a fair market value gap over here that we can look at, see if we, I think this is the one I want right here. There's another one. Wow, there's a couple of them. NASDAQ's a little more finicky today, but it's also been a lot more active. So those would be the 2 that I want to target. This other one here is just kind of really small. We definitely have an SMT on the 1 minute here. So I'm thinking, you know, we get a break of structure. We already have a break of structure right here from this low to this low. So we already have a break of structure. I'm sorry, we don't have a break of structure. That's my bad. We haven't established a low and a high yet. But it looks like we could be getting the break of structure here wherever this ends. And it looks like we have a low and another low. So it looks like we'll have a break of structure here as well with the stalling. So if that's the case, let's just see, because I could get faked out and we could be targeting new highs. Yeah, see, that's a 1 minute SMT that's absolutely definitely forming. Okay, we're looking pretty good. I'm gonna wait for, we definitely have a break of structure. So I'm just gonna hold off because you could get faked out on this. This could just be a pullback. It also could be a market manipulation holdout. I mean, S&P's hanging out at the Asian highs. You know, we just broke London highs and are hanging out in here. There's probably just a lot of price action here, movement just to keep loading up and taking out the liquidity. So I'm still thinking this is a pretty good liquidity sweep and we're going to dump heavy. So I'm definitely bearish on this next move. Just got to get the confirmation. Yeah, see, we're definitely seeing a downward here with a slight upward here. So this is a downward trend. We're definitely, so if we disrespect this fair value gap, if we inverse this fair value gap, I'm going to take a short on S&P. and NASDAQ will come soon. I'll probably I'll take one on that afterwards. All right, so we're coming down into it. Let's see if it stays respected. I'm not thinking it will, and if it closes out, I'll take the short. Hmm. All right. So respected, but we got lower lows and we got higher lows. So, well, now we've got a bearish SMT or a bullish SMT going on the 1 minute with NASDAQ in the lead. Very interesting. Huh. I wonder if maybe they popped around here to sweep all this liquidity and then heading up. I mean, this is a very interesting development. There's just not enough here to go on yet. So I got to sit tight. I mean, we could go either direction. We got the two of these basically fighting each other. Let's switch to the 5 minute, see if we got something a little more reliable to go on. Yeah, we got, I mean, huge fair market value gaps there. You know, coming over here onto the. So we absolutely have a bearish SMT going on. So, there we go. We just got a dump. Okay, so there we go. This got inversed. I'm going to go ahead and take the short. And my take profit is actually going to be right here. Well, actually, you know what? I'm going to put my take profit down here. But I'm going to watch this fair market value gap to see if it gets respected. And I'm going to go ahead and take this now too, with the take profit being down here. Well, this one I'm going to play to the fair market value gap. Yeah, if it breaks that FMG, yeah, there we go. Yep, definitely headed south. Both of those are good. I'll put the stop up here above these highs. Put the stop above these highs. Okay. I mean, these already got taken out, so I'm going to remove that. These already got taken out, so I'm going to remove these. So really, take profit should be down here. We're respecting this gap. So I'm going to get out of this while I'm ahead. This one, we're starting to come back. We disrespected this one. We could still come down. But these things are moving in totally opposite directions right now. Yeah, I'm going to take out that one too, because what it looks like to me is if we go to the 5 minute, we're hitting equilibrium is what we're doing. And on this, on the 5 minute, we got equilibrium as well. Haven't quite hit equilibrium here. Could there still be a move toward it? Possibly. They could tease it again. But at this point, I'm gonna take these, put them back to 1 minute, and see if we have something we can work with here. I mean, we definitely have new lows. Definitely a break of structure. I mean, everything would tell me that we're continuing down. Okay, I can remove this. That got disrespected. This one is still being respected. This one isn't. Technically, this one didn't either, even though it moved past it. I mean, I think that's equilibrium. So I just need a break of structure. We hit equilibrium. I just want, if we can come out, above these highs right here, then we're okay. We got to come back up above Asia highs. We're already looking like we're going to do that here. And if that closes, we've disrespected this fair market value gap right here. So, yep, there we go. I can take a long here. Yep, I'm going to take a long. And we are going to target those hourly highs right there. Stop loss will be right here. So, okay, so I think we've done our market manipulation the right way here. I'm going to go ahead and trust that this is not going to go the other way. I'm going to just go ahead and do it. I'm going to take 2 on this because we disrespected that gap already. So that's actually a good that's a good one there. All right, so stop loss below those lows. Take profit's going to be right here. Okay, let's let them sit and see what happens. God bless paper trading. Oh, there we go. I want to see the target. There we go. Okay. Now we just let them sit. Yep, I think we've had about all the market manipulation we can take right now. Now, while we're watching these do what they're doing, a little commentary about tomorrow. Seeing that I'll be trading for profit, actual real money profit tomorrow. One of the rules on the prop firm is to not trade during any high impact news day, tomorrow being the 28th. We have 3 high impact news events. Everything is Eastern time here. So noon Eastern time from my time frame would actually be 10 o'clock in the morning and 10:30. So during these time frames right here, between 10 and 10:30 or 10 and 11, they want to restrict trading. They don't want any trading during high impact news announcements. You can trade during a high impact news day, just not during the actual time that the announcements are being made. So there's going to be an hour here that I will not be able to trade from 10 to 11. So if I can get a trade in between 9:30 and 10 in that first half hour, then I'll be okay. But if not, then I'm going to be stuck. So what I'll have to make sure to do is I'll have to make sure to I'll have to make sure to mark that off on my deal. Okay, we're going to switch to equilibrium here just to see if we're okay. Yeah, it's not even testing equilibrium. It's looking good. This one here, same way. So like I was saying, high impact news day. The broker does not like trading to happen during a high impact news announcement. So they are restricting any trades during that time frame. So essentially what I will be doing is what in Sam hell? What I'll be doing is waiting. If I'm able to take any trades, it would be before 10 o'clock or after 11 o'clock. So we'll just have to see how it pans out. There we go. That's more like it. Okay. Okay. Oh, target. There we go. This one's going to take a little time to play out. Let's take a look at what the 5 minute looks like, see if my bias is correct on this. Yeah, I mean, solid plan so far. You know, we had it come down, respect this fair market value gap. Whoops, over here on NASDAQ. This is coming down in, and so far respecting the fair market value gap here. Even though this came down and tried to do some sweep on it, we have another little fair market value gap here. But at this point, I don't know. I don't know that I'm super concerned about those unless we could be looking at another Eiffel Tower situation on the 5 minute based on my initial bias being bearish. But right now, the way price action is looking, we've kind of pushed past this liquidity point. Here, we're still farting around. I mean, I could be horribly wrong here. But right now, we're just looking at equilibrium on the 5 minute. We could come as far down as here, you know, and then still come back up. Same here, which is why I put equilibrium where it's at. Low, high. I mean, we do have kind of a bearish SMT on the 5 minute. So, I mean, it's anybody's guess. You know, the SMTs aren't a 100% tell all either because we had SMTs yesterday that got blown out, got disproved. So, you know, same could happen here. Yesterday was a funky day for price action. Okay, looks like Nasdaq's taking the lead. And we're getting some pump on this. we're still hanging out in the liquidity zone on S&P. So maybe they're just trying to market makers are just trying to absorb as much liquidity as they can. Um, I'm thinking they're probably going to try to fake out the shorts in order to get that liquidity and then push higher. Nasdaq already did. I mean, they already did one fake out right here on this candle and this candle right here. So maybe now they're just trying to get a little bit more. We got a lot of fight going on here because you got a lot of people that are wanting to short this. And yet the longs really want this target up here, and that's where I've biased as well. Changing my opinion from earlier. I mean, just the way it's hanging out and flagging, there's just a couple of different types of indicators that are giving me the impression we're still going to be bullish, but we're going to be hanging out for a while because they got to fight it out. I mean, if I'm wrong, I'm wrong. You know, that's what paper trading's for, is to get better at this and to get more savvy, to get more enlightened about what price action is doing and where your best assessment based on the technical analysis and sometimes your gut, but you know, technical analysis too, and your instincts. You know, where you think that the market is wanting to go. And right now, I'm getting the indication and the feel both. So gut and technical analysis is giving me the indication that this wants to go bullish. It wants to go bullish. It's just having a little bit of a struggle right now because there is a lot of bearish sentiment because there's quite a few people out there that are taking a look at some of the same technicals I am with the idea that there's some gaps to fill, there's some reversals that should be happening, but it just doesn't feel that way. It doesn't look that way. And it looks like we're starting to get some strength coming to the bullish side. Yeah, it's a slow move. It's a slow burn. Yeah, this is going to take a little while. So, okay, so, um, well, rather than sit here and watch an extra long video of just a bunch of little bit of turning around, we're already an hour into the recording. So I'm going to leave it here for now since I'm just trading paper. This is more for my own education than anything. If there's any significant development, I will come back in and let you guys know. But for now, no sense having you guys sit there jumping around looking at little price action. So I'll pause it for now, and if there's something significant to show, I'll pop in and give some more commentary. All right, boys and girls, have a good one. Okay, boys and girls, popping back in here just for a moment to give an update. As you can see, we're starting to move much more towards those highs. It looks like we were able to respect these gaps here, respect these gaps on the 5-minute here, as well as respecting equilibrium on the initial move. And it looks like we're starting to head towards our targets. So we'll just keep at this. Like I said, this is going to take a little bit of time because today's kind of a slow market moving day. But looks like we're starting to get some pretty good moves, especially on the 5-minute. And you know, there still could be some pullbacks and some other price action that happens. But for now, we're just going to let these ride. And I'm going to move my stop now to break even. And I'll move this stop to break even. There we go. And we'll let these ride out and see where we're at. Okay, we'll be back in a little bit. All right, boys and girls, checking back in. We can see we've had a little more price movement, a little bit of a pullback right through here. You can see I marked out a fair market value gap, which has been respected, and we're pushing higher. Same here. Fair market value gap as well as equilibrium, both of which came in and now are being respected. And looks like we're starting to push higher. So we'll sit tight on this. I think what I'm going to do for the sake of time, because it's 11 o'clock New York time right now, they're getting into their lunch hour. Part of me speculates that all of our New York market manipulators are going to go to lunch and chill, which means the retail guys are going to take over and probably start doing funky things from there. So we'll probably maybe make a quick push. I think this liquidity target zone is where I'm going to finish up my trading regardless of where NASDAQ is. NASDAQ is so far away, I don't know how realistic that $4,200 target is, at least in the short term. You know, maybe by end of day, who knows? But getting into lunch hour and then afternoon session, I'm not interested in sticking around and waiting to see what happens there. So I'm just going to hang on to this for a little bit longer and see if something happens with the S&P. And if we hit that target, I'm going to close that out. I'm just going to go ahead and close out NASDAQ at the same time, no matter where it's at. And we'll just call it a day at that point. So um, we'll keep an eye on it, and I'll pop back in depending on what exactly happens with this trade. And one way or another, if I close out before hitting this mark, or if we hit that mark, whatever happens, I'll pop back in when it comes time for me to close out, so you can see exactly where price action was at the time I decided to call it quits. Alrighty, talk to you soon. All right, boys and girls, popping back in. We see that there's some price action. I moved to the 5 minute here. Gave me a little more reliable price confirmation and action. NASDAQ is, sluggish a little bit, but to tell you the truth, I'm not unhappy about that because it looks like S&P is making its way toward our target zone. So we've got about 3 minutes left on this particular candle. I'm going to stay on the 5 minute just because the price action seems to be a little more digestible for it. I don't want to get myself a little, sideways on what it might be doing, because every indication now is we're still in a good uptrend. It looks like this is going to be our target. Again, I don't think NASDAQ is going to make it all the way up here. There's an awful lot of space to go. I mean, it might over time, but to tell you the truth, if we hit this in the next few minutes or the next few candles, then I'm going to close out over here as well. I mean, we're already up pretty darn good, nearly 2,500 on both accounts. So barring a drastic change, we'll hang out here for a few more minutes. This video is a little bit longer, but just wanted to see if my assumptions were correct on what was going to happen with price action here. This is going to be helpful for when I start trading in the money account, and what kind of leverage I'll be able to use and money I'll be able to make. As you can see here, I took a little more leverage than usual. I took two contracts on each of the Nasdaq and the S&P, so that's sizing up on there. Going to make a little more, little larger on the numbers, obviously, with something like that. So anyway, 11:08 New York time. Let's see what happens as we start getting toward lunch hour here. We got ourselves a little bit of a pullback. Again, not super concerned about that because, I would anticipate a little bits and pieces of pullbacks here just as a normal course of action. Big indicator is going to be NASDAQ being able to punch past this high of day right here. And if we are able to punch past that high of day, I think we have some really good momentum to get S&P as well up to its target point, and for NASDAQ to continue forward and generate some higher profit as well. So we're just going to sit tight and see where the market takes us. We got 30 seconds left on this candle, and then we'll have a new one developing, and we'll see where the numbers take us. So give this A little bit more time, watch what price action does. Definitely slower based on approaching lunch hour, so we'll just keep plugging away. I can see over here on the 5 minute we had a fair market value that was here that got inversed. So that's a really good sign that we're going to continue this uptrend. I'll mark out that fair market value for you guys so you can see what I'm seeing. So we have this right here. There's the fair market value that got inversed. You can see right here, it was right in here. And then this candle right here inversed it. And now we're just looking for a candle to close out above the highs. So for here, just for observation's sake, I'm going to move to the 1 minute. And we had one that broke to new daily highs, high of day, but it did not close out above high of day. So if we get one that closes out above high of day, and again, you know, this is all relative. It's just extra confluences that give me confidence that we're moving in the right direction. Getting a candle that closes out above high of day from previous high of day in a bullish move, then bullish price action, I think we're in good shape. And we're definitely getting that here as well. So we're moving in the right direction. I think once this closes out, I still think we're going to head in this direction pretty good. So I'm going to go back to the 5 minute. It's just taken a lot of time, a lot of time. It's not a very quick moving market today. Not a lot of volatility, not a lot of news. Everything pretty much on the norm. So looks like we're going to close this candle. If it keeps pushing in the direction it wants, it's very likely we could close this candle above high of day. You know, we could also get a pullback. It's not a big deal if we get a little bit of a pullback. There's no value gap anywhere in this vicinity. It would have to come all the way back down here and retrace to here. So if we actually take this and we move this up to our equilibrium point, it is literally right across the middle of this fair value gap. So could we get a retrace back into that at equilibrium? Yeah, it's possible. And then a move up again. You know, I'd prefer we didn't because, you know, it just takes longer to watch this trade play out. And quite frankly, I don't have the time or the patience for it at this point. So we'll see what happens. I mean, you know, we're definitely in the profit zone, so it's just a matter of, you know, where the profit number is going to be. I really would like to see this profit target hit. That's really what we're pushing for. So, you know, we'll see how it plays out. We got under a minute and a half left on this 5 minute candle, and you know, everything's still moving in a good direction. So we'll see if our lunchtime warriors decide that they want to get something done before they all go get their sandwiches and caviar. Yeah, because that's what they eat, sandwiches and caviar. Yeah, cucumber sandwiches and caviar and champagne while they drive the Ferraris to lunch. And they go do lunch. They don't have lunch. They don't take lunch. They do lunch. Yeah. Whereas the rest of us, you know, sip on protein shakes and $3 burgers or whatever. Okay, just killing time. Last 30 seconds of this 5 minute candle. You can see price action is slowing way down. I think I'll give it one more 5-minute candle and then call it, because I'm just getting a little tired on the watching this thing. I got stuff to do today, so I might just hunker down and take whatever profit it gives me through the next candle. Looks like we closed out just below high of day, but it looks like we might push past high of day. I don't know. Maybe we'll get a pullback. Anybody's guess. NASDAQ has what looks like cleaner price action. S&P's kind of all over the place, but at least they're moving slightly more consistently now than they were. They were kind of all kind of FO, but let's see what's happening on the 1 minute. Yeah, we're looking fine. Yeah, look at all that sideways jumping around. It just doesn't know what it wants to do. All right. We'll hang out. We'll hang out. Just remain patient. Remain patient. All right, we're starting to look like we're getting some better action now. NASDAQ's starting to make a bump. We'll see if they continue, but NASDAQ definitely likes the bullish run. S&P still playing games. I think we're just going to establish another down candle before pushing higher, just to get just a wee pullback. Yeah, just a wee pullback before surging higher. Yeah, I think that S&P area of liquidity is pretty much will be the peak of the market, at least the peak of the market for me. If it continues higher, that's great. I mean, I don't know, what else do we have for targets up here? Yeah, I mean, look, next target is, you know, I think that's all-time highs, if I'm not mistaken. Yeah. So next target is all-time highs. Now, could it go there today? Maybe. I'm thinking it's more likely something like that will end up happening tomorrow after the high impact news announcements, if it goes bullish. But for right now, I think if I had to speculate, I'd say we're probably going to get a liquidity sweep through here, and then market's going to tire out, and then the afternoon session is going to be all about taking shorts. I'm pretty sure that's how it's going to go. So right now we're making a surge toward my target, and if we hit it, I'm going to close out of here immediately as well. Oh, we're just about there, and there we go. Okay, so now we hit it. I'm going to close out this position too. All right, so finally happened. Oh my goodness, it's almost exhausting. All right, so we are up $4,500 on the paper account, which is good. And it looks like we're continuing to make a surge here. And like I said, I think we're going to end up floating around here on the S&P and then coming back down. I think this is about as extended to daily highs as there is, but you know, the market's the market. It'll always surprise you. But that's just my speculation at this point. So, anyway, boys and girls, good trading day. I am done. I've got other things to do, and I will catch you all tomorrow, and we'll see how things go after the news day. Alrighty, y'all. You have a good one, and we will see you tomorrow.